Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Hey, Ryan, there you are. Well, welcome everyone to the School Transportation Nation podcast, special live edition from STN EXPO Virtual, coming to you live all week, January 25th through the 27th. I'm Tony Corbin, the publisher of School Transportation News, and this episode is brought to you by Transfinder, the leader in school bus routing software, and also our friends at Zonar, a leader in smart fleet management, and my illustrious co-host. Here he is, Mr. Ryan Gray. Golf clap.
Hello,
Yay.
everybody. Day one in the wraps for STN Expo Virtual. A little bit later, Tony and I are going to be joined by Zonar Chief Operating Officer Michael Gould and Transfinder founder and president Antonio Civitella.
Excellent. Ryan, I've got my drink. Sam made up a beautiful cocktail there. I did a little Grand Marnier with a lime slice for myself. Cheers. Cheers to everyone. Our first
Chink.
day. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Make sure and drop a comment if you have a drink in the chat. I know a few of our East Coast friends are cheersing right now, but we really want to thank you for being here. And it was a great day. We kicked it off strong. Michael Gould from Zonar, who's joining us a little later, he talked about the big opportunities coming in 2021 regarding technology, and really great comments. I think Ryan, he really hit it out of the park in terms of touching base on kind of just the big things that we face as an industry and all the kind of smart technologies that are coming down the road. I mean, what were your big takeaways, Ryan, from Mike's speech? I think Ryan's got some technical difficulties on sound. I think maybe I'm not sure if he's mic'd or
Can you
mute.
hear
Ryan,
me?
did you
I
mute?
am
Oh,
Mike's.
there. Oh, you muted yourself. Oh, Ryan, we might want to have you redo a little silence there. We were wondering what happened to you. I saw the mouth moving, but I thought you were like ventriloquisting it, maybe. All right.
Just, essentially, sorry about that. Essentially, we've been saying this all 2020, really, that instead of harping on the challenges, what are the opportunities? And really understanding what your goals are. That's what I really got from Michael's talk. And we're going to have him on a little bit later, and he can definitely elaborate. But there's a lot, obviously, when it comes to technology and really understanding what you need the technology to do for you. What are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? And certainly, a lot of people have a lot that they need to accomplish right now.
Yeah, Ryan, I agree. It's yeah, I agree. It's tough. It's tough to look at, what we're going to do purposefully and really just look at everything that's going on out there. And as a transportation professional, how are we as an industry going to reflect internally and say, okay, hey, this is what my purpose is in the industry. And Ryan Avery's speech as well talked a lot about that, right? He came out, he's big on vernacular, making sure we don't use certain words, making sure that we are focused on where we're going and how we get there. And, I believe that we all look at what we're doing during this pandemic and say, hey, what's our purpose? And I think as an STN perspective, we reflect and say, how do we pivot as a business? How do we provide to our industry information? And I think you and your editorial team really went to work, Ryan, and getting the story of our industry out to the community. And we've really tried to bring everyone together. And that's really been our purpose, STN, to bring everyone together. And I want to just thank everyone for coming to STN Expo Virtual and being a part of it and being part of the conversation, because it's so powerful to be able to share with peers right now. And I mean, we just wrapped up with a session talking about COVID-19 funding. And that's a big thing. Everybody needs the tech to be able to keep their kids safe, to keep their staff safe. And, you're under so much pressure right now to do that. I just think that ultimately, what? We need to tell the tale of all the good things that we're doing as an industry. It's tough because I think you get beaten up day in and day out. People aren't happy with the service, but you have to remember, you're doing it for the kids, right? And you're doing your best you can with the hand you've been dealt. And COVID, it's a crappy hand, right? Like, it couldn't be worse. But we're going to prevail as an industry, and working with your partners is key on that. Would you agree with that, Ryan?
Oh, certainly. And you hit on it. It's telling the story, and that's what Tim Ammon was telling us that he wants to really see more of, and it is something that this industry is not quite that's not really in their wheelhouse. It's they're so worried about doing what they do so well, and they excel at that. It's really telling the stories, and that's we're always on the hunt for that. I closed out the last Let's Talk session with, reach out to me, reach out to STN, share not just what your challenges are, of course, flipping the script, making those opportunities, but what are you doing? What are your people doing? How are you moving forward? That's really what we have to keep harping because, with all this money that's now available for all this technology, and the cleaning and the PPE and ventilation systems and whatnot, it still comes back to advocating for what you do as a student transporter, a safety professional, what your people do, because we have to fight for that money. It's not just going to be given to us. Yes, there's a lot of money out there, more federal funds for education than we've seen in a long, long time, and transportation can get some of that money, but it's not just going to wind up on your plates. You have to go out and you have to really advocate for it. You got to lobby for it, and show the the end result that you can do to influence and impact that classroom education. Because as students start going back to in-person class more and more, hopefully by the 2021-2022 school, we can say that everyone is back. Might not be that way. There's still going to be a lot of parents that are given the options to keep their kids in virtual classrooms, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen automatically. We have to keep sharing those stories of how transportation is delivering food. There's a lot right now in the nation's press about additional money for food stamps in President Biden's plan, and for the SNAP program for kids to get more nutrition, and they're missing out on their school breakfasts and lunches. Transportation has been delivering meals for the past 9 months, and they're continuing to do that. They're delivering Wi-Fi, they're delivering homework and supplies. Of course, where the schools are in hybrid or back in person classrooms, they're delivering the students, maybe not as many, maybe with the social distancing, but we can't let that narrative take over and say, oh, well, transportation isn't really doing what it used to do, so we can put this money elsewhere. No, that's absolutely the wrong message. So we need to keep moving forward.
Yeah, Ryan, one of the big takeaways I had today, I was sitting in a session using data to plan for pandemic ridership with Kelly Shanahan. And, it was
Shahan.
really Shannon, yeah, got to pronounce it right. But she said something really interesting. She said when she started testing some technology, particularly it was student ridership technology, she put that on 5 different buses. And it happened to be the superintendent's child's bus, school board members' buses, and it made it a lot easier to get buy-in from the school board to invest in technology when she had shown use cases that affected the kids' lives of the people making the decision. I thought it was just like, that's so smart, right? Like such a smart thing to do, to be able to say, hey, I've been given this kind of test pilot. Let's test it on these buses, or maybe the most vocal parents that are in there. And you have them, School Transportation Nation. You have certain parents that are the squeakiest wheels, and they're the ones that are going to advocate for you or against you. So you want to have them on your side. And I think that was just a really smart comment. And those are really big things you can do. Little tips and tricks you can learn from our conference and different professionals out there in our industry to really kind of impact how transportation is done. And that's really exciting stuff. And one of the things, Ryan, I want to say is we had so much great interaction today at STN Expo Virtual, and we want to reward a few lucky participants that were really active chatters. We have Katrina Falk, Director of Transportation at Shelby Eastern Schools. We know her well, so congratulations, Katrina. Yay. And then also Rebecca Sykes, Transportation Director at Sargent School District. Rebecca, you guys are both winners of $100 Amazon gift cards. Congratulations. Those are going to be coming to you both. Really excited to have you. And, what else we're happy to do is we're able to bring this to you with our sponsors at STN Expo Virtual. Zonar is our title sponsor, as well as Transfinder, who is a diamond sponsor, REI and Tyler Technologies. And I want to bring forward two of our sponsors today onto the podcast. Mr. Michael Gould, COO of Zonar, as well as Antonio Civitella, CEO and President of Transfinder. You guys had like a big day today. You were busy, you were presenting, you have big announcements come out today, a lot of exciting stuff. I mean, let me throw it over to Michael first. Michael, like, you did your keynote this morning, you felt pumped, you got your message out. Like, what were you feeling in that moment?
Well, first of all, I feel grateful that we're here, right, and we're able to, and that our industry is so resilient. In all candor, it's just been a heck of a year with this COVID stuff, and that was the biggest thing, right? Is realizing that we're coming out of this, we're on the downhill slope, coming out in many ways stronger than we were going in, and so I felt proud about that, and hopeful, candidly, for what we're doing in 21. So I'm excited about what's going on with Zonar. We've got a lot of neat stuff happening. We're busier than heck, and we're proud of it. So
wonderful. And Antonio, you did a big product session day with Mr. John Briggs. That went well. You guys showed off a lot of new things in your Plus software. What were your big takeaways out of your session today?
Well, I think the big takeaway is, and by the way, I want to tell Michael, coming up your 20th anniversary in 2001 is when Zonar. So it's a big. So I just want to give you a shout out to you guys. 20 years. That's a big number. Like, whoo-hoo.
Thank you, Tony.
So,
yeah.
Tony, where's your drink? I thought we're supposed to like cheers.
Yeah, right here. Cheers. I get cheers to that. 20 years.
Cheers, right?
Mine's the wrong color. I need mine to be blue.
This is the Zonar blue cup. Right here. It says Zonar on it, Micah.
Well done.
I like it. That's great. So I think the takeaway, we always get excited when we announce new products and how well they work together. Really, today was some milestone for Transfinder and really the partnership that we're now with officially with Zonar, and how we actually were able to provide hardware that Zonar really has, and we can now provide to our clients. The great thing about it, today marks one of those monumental days that Transfinder, we always said, hey, our goal is to be an all-in-one company, and we're going there. It's our roadmap. Well, man, doesn't it feel nice? Again, we got some people here in the room. Doesn't it feel nice to have that is actually today, the 25th of January is actually the day that we've been talking about for a couple of years, and now we pull it off. So huge takeaway for us. Big one.
I want to kick off a question first to you, Michael, too. Why is the Zonar Transfinder partnership so important to the industry? What's different today than yesterday? What is this announcement? What does it mean?
Well, hey, thanks for asking us, and it is great to be here. I'll echo Tony's comments there for sure with the guys at Transfinder. Like we've actually been partners and have a lot of joint customers for many years. Right, we've been sharing technology and data for a long time. We've always complemented each other. Transfinder is well established in the school bus routing and scheduling solutions. You pair that with our GPS and fleet management stuff. You've got a really great total stack solution that optimizes your routing and it really does improve fleet safety. So, today we're just kind of taking it to the next level. We're formalizing it in a lot of ways, and providing a lot of confidence, I would argue, to the marketplace that, Zonar and Transfinder together, we're committed to that partnership. We're committed to the data share agreements. We've made it much easier now for a customer to buy the full stack solution from both Transfinder and Zonar. So the procurement process is greatly streamlined. But again, I would come back to one of the key things I said this morning, and that is, a critical success factor here is partnership, right? So not only do we need to partner with you as the technology consumer, but there's also industry partnerships that are critical to the success of you as a consumer of the technology, and this is a great example of that.
Wonderful. And this one's for Tony at Transfinder. What's the big difference maker here for Transfinder customers or future customers? Like, what is the advantage of this partnership, and why the Transfinder is making such a big impact with this?
Well, the big difference is that you take industry leaders like Zonar, and you have industry leaders like Transfinder, but we've worked very well together, and we did a lot of joint opportunities. We worked together, and we worked hard to make sure that it was integrated, but we want to make sure it's seamless. So that's the next level. That how has it become just a seamless, just happens. Now at this point with this partnership, there's none of this going back and forth. Some of the files go in there, maybe partial data is going from one system to another. It doesn't work this way now. It's actually fully integrated for the user experience. They wouldn't even know the difference. And that's really what's big. We want to, when they're in our system, we want our clients to just completely feel like they're in one interface, one place to see all that information. And obviously, from the Zonar side, it's the same thing too. They want a full integrated, that they don't want clients to go back and forth and maybe adjust this file in the morning and maybe tweak it next week. No, it's got to be less work for the end users. That's really it. We want it to it's got to just work. I keep saying it's to set it and forget it. And we say this, but now we're actually could do this.
Excellent. And then Tony, follow-up question. Are you going to be doing some demos of the product here at STN EXPO Virtual this week?
Well, I think some of the things we did today, we highlighted. Of course, we could always do a lot of demos and presentation during our booth. So I think I would say always welcome everyone to stop at our virtual booth. It's always driven by the questions and the direction that people are looking for. But I'm also looking forward to, I'm hoping people join my session tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time, which is 8:30 Pacific time. That really is another big thing. So obviously, we're making a big deal about navigating. We feel this new partnership really flex our muscle in software, in our apps for the drivers. It's the whole navigation piece. So the title is really Navigating 2021. It's actually, it's going to just give you a little quick highlight what we think is going to help everyone really navigate 21. Listen, 21 is going to be a little bit better than 2020. We hope it's a little bit better. How much better will it be compared to 20? We're not sure yet, but I welcome everyone to attend tomorrow session. I mean, again, these sessions have been amazing. We're always some big takeaways, but navigation is really the big level. And of course, I can't overemphasize on how if you're navigating, the maps have to be the same from the router system. And that's the part that I'm talking about, the seamless, that our clients live in Roughfinder Plus in the routing system, and then when they're navigating, it's the same exact map. If they add a little driveway, it's got to show up on the navigation immediately, because how are you going to be able to trust that navigation if it doesn't match your routing system? So that's really the takeaway.
Very good. Thank you for that. And then Michael, can you share a little bit about what this Zonar Transfinder partnership means for Zonar customers? What's the big kind of takeaway people should be aware of?
Yeah, so I want to go back to confidence in the solution for one, right? So when we have a data share agreement with Tony's crew now that just make sure that data is seamless, right, and that we can count on each other to support the end solution for our joint customers. That's really, I can't emphasize that enough. how important it is that they know that we're working together and that it will work. Just as Tony mentioned, it just works. The second, you'll see it also as you work, as our clients, our customers do, and just our support organizations, our field teams being more coordinated, just acting as a single unit and a single solution stack for our customers, really is what we're looking for here. And we're better together, and we're really excited about the potential here. Just being able to open up new markets for Zonar, candidly. Places that Transfinders, places where we're not, and vice versa. And I think we have a lot to bring together to the industry. I'm really excited about the maturity of the stack, right, in terms of just kind of the new features, new applications that are coming out. I'm super excited, as you know, about some of the interesting work we're doing around preventive and predictive maintenance on vehicles. It's super interesting to us, and just some of the core platform work that we're doing now as part of Continental. We've got a great opportunity to leverage some of their expertise as well and bring that to the U.S. and Canadian markets for the people industry. So, it's all green ahead, right? Let's hope. But it's all moving forward, and we're excited about it.
Wonderful. Well, thanks, Scott, for coming on, guys. Really appreciate you being partners with us at STN Expo Virtual. Congratulations on the new partnership. Super exciting stuff. For all our guests on the podcast, be sure and go by the Zonar and Transfinder booths to learn more. Tony Civitella has got his session. Again, he mentioned it. It's Navigating 2021, a roadmap during uncertainty. It's 8:30 Pacific, 11:30 Eastern, as well as Zonar has a session as well called Rethink Your Shop at 10:10 a.m., 1:10 Pacific. Be sure and check those sessions out. That is tomorrow, January 26th. Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate you being on and being sponsors. Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot, guys. Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Well, Ryan, that's two technology giants coming together for a big announcement here at STN Expo Virtual. We're always breaking news, so exciting stuff here. And I think we may have done a recap of Michael Gould's keynote this morning. Is that up on the STN website for people to check out?
Yeah, it is. If you head over to stnonline.com, it'll be, I believe, the first story up there, the big story there. And then also too, I sat down with Tony Civitella last week, and we talked a little bit about kind of in advance of this announcement, the role communication plays. I didn't really get a chance to ask him about that, but certainly this partnership with Zonar really brings to the forefront student tracking and school bus tracking. And Tony's got some interesting thoughts about the evolution of communications. You can find that on stnonline.com as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I want to thank everyone for jumping on the podcast today. Be sure you come to STN Expo Virtual tomorrow. We kick off bright and early. It's going to be 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. We have a Let's Talk discussion on fleet optimization, as well as kind of a morning networking to make sure you get to connect with different attendees, users. We really invite you to be there, participate. It's a great thing for the community to come together. Again, we appreciate you, School Transportation Nation. If you want to catch Michael's keynote, it is up on the STN Expo Virtual website on the homepage. If you're in the Hop-In platform, it's also inside the trade show. You can go watch a replay of it. We've got quite a few other presentations. Antonio Civitella's presentation with John Briggs, REI, as well as a few others in there. So please check those out. Watch a replay if you missed it, or you're just not at the show, you're missing out. Come check it out. You still can register with us. So go to stnexpovirtual.com to be part of all the action and the fun. I want to thank Transfinder and Zonar, this episode's sponsors of our podcast. We could not do it without you. Want to have everyone make sure and go by and visit all the booth spaces at the STN Expo Virtual Trade Show. It's key. Remember, visit stnonline.com for all the event coverage and articles, takeaways, big things there at stnonline.com to check out. We love you, listeners. Subscribe, stream, and share this podcast. Check it out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or stnpodcast.com. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming on. Cheers to everybody. We appreciate all your hard work and learning today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.
Hey.